Hey everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Welcome to another episode today. It's weekend, like when I make most of these videos out under the rancho. We got a little bit of cool weather last week, but it went back to being pretty darn hot. So it's hot out here right now. I'm kind of avoiding putting off by doing a video. I got to get a workout in out here today. Not looking forward to the sweat, but anyhow, that's not why we're here today. If you watched the last video that I put out last week, five keys to success on the raw vegan lifestyle. I watched that again and I got thinking about one of them, and I wanted to get into it a little bit deeper today. And it's about educating yourself on this raw food lifestyle. Which, I mean, I consider that, I don't know if I'd say it's the most important thing, but I can consider that one so important. It's almost like I'm trying to figure out all the time as I'm reading things about it and hearing people fail, fall short, go off the rails and eat something really, really bad. I'm always trying to think, okay, what can you say to these folk to maybe where they have that aha moment or it clicks for them. And I think education is the key for this one. I mean, it really is. One of the reasons I say education is from almost the first that I started, that I heard about raw foodism, veganism, being a raw vegan. I started watching mad amounts of YouTube videos. I started reading like crazy. I would Google, keywords. I would listen to different subjects on YouTube, and then I would Google those keywords, and I would try to get as many opinions as possible. Conflicting. Some opinions were like, night and day. One said black, one said white. But I went through all this information, and I'm still going through tons of information, but I educated myself. And I think maybe education is what is lacking with a lot of people that are not as successful as they would like to be on this raw vegan lifestyle. And like I always say, kind of a disclaimer in my videos, I'm a raw vegan. I interact online and what have you with a lot of raw vegans, but I direct all this information at you wherever you're at and whatever you're trying to do. If you're doing cook till 4, just think of me as saying like, well, do the best cook to 4 you can. And what I'm talking about is educating yourself. So basically what I'm talking about is educating yourself is so we're not, if you do fall, like we all fall. Everybody's going to fall from time to time. I fall. Probably everybody out there, if they're being honest, will say they do also. But a fall for me is going to be a much different thing than what I hear a lot of people talking about. And it goes back to that education. It goes back to that education, and even just the brief introduction education. Let's say I took a seminar that first weekend. It was just the tip of the iceberg, but once I learned certain facts, once I knew what certain things did to your body, I had no choice anymore. I didn't have a choice. Now, as I've told you in videos, I've gone through periods where I'm doing things that are less than optimal for my body. I've eaten way too much olive oil. I've gotten back on cooked foods and eaten them heavier than I want to be eating them. If you're doing grains, if you're doing starches, God bless you. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, they're bad. I'm just going to say how they affect me. The grains, I don't do them. The potatoes, I will do from time to time. So what I'm getting at is we all have our things where we don't eat optimally all the time. But after that first weekend eating cookies, eating pizza, eating anything that was not vegan, eating dairy, that was off the table from day one. And it wasn't off the table from day one because I have this crazy amount of willpower, or I'm stronger than you, or I have some sort of clarity. It was off the table because I knew what it could do to my body. It was like, and I think maybe sometimes people don't want to educate themselves because it's almost like the ostrich hiding his head in the sand. It's almost like you're not accountable if you don't know about this. And once you really know how bad some of these things can be, it makes you accountable to yourself in a way, I guess you would say. Because if you know the damage this is doing to your body, certain things you're just not going to do again. You're not going to fall and have pizza. You're not going to fall and have wings. You're not going to fall and have cookies. You're not going to fall and have dairy ice cream if you will educate yourself. I'm going to keep this one pretty short today because it's just something to give you a little bit of pause and give you something to think about, especially if you're struggling. And you can answer for yourself if you have educated yourself on this. Continuously be educating yourself. You know, like I say, watch as many people on YouTube as possible. Watch people with varying opinions on YouTube as possible. But I think if you will just really start learning, even if you can't retain the science, I can't retain the science and sit here and spit it back to you, as I've said before. But if you will read about the science and you read the journey that this food takes, this bad stuff, when you put it in your mouth, all the way through your body, what it's leaving behind in your body, what processes it's causing in your body, I mean, I don't see how a rational person could eat that after a while. Like right now, I would have to damn near be starving to death with no food in sight, no food on the horizon to eat cheese. In my former life, I loved cheese. Good Lord, I love cheese. I love all kind of cheese. But when I became educated to dairy and what cheese does to you, I could no more eat cheese now than I could go to the garbage can and eat garbage. The same for a lot of foods. I mean, okay, well, let's just assume most people, unless you're transitioning, you know, non-vegan food off the table. But you know, even like processed sugar, processed food. I don't know what it is for you. You know, what your Achilles heel is, or what gets you when you do waver a little bit. But one last time I'll say it, educate yourself. Educate yourself on the food, educate yourself on the process. That's another important one too. Educate yourself on the process of how other people's bodies have reacted to this raw food thing. And not one or two, because everybody has a different thing, but going back to another key in the one from the last video is patience. Because if you were aware of how some people are slower than others at cleaning out and detoxing their bodies, and some are slower than others at starting to lose weight, if you know these things, it will help you to be patient. So in the end, educate, educate, educate. Watch as many YouTube videos as possible. Read as much as possible. There's some good books out there. There's some good resources out there. I think maybe soon I'll do a video that's like kind of just an opinion of mine on maybe like 5 or 6 or 7 good resources, what I consider good resources. Anyhow, hope this has been helpful. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Hope you'll subscribe to the channel and have a wonderful day. Peace.